Welcome to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.
Hi, everyone. You're listening to the Sports Scouting Report. I'm your host, Lee Brecheen. Our guest today is Coach John White, who is at Oak Forest Academy. We're going to explain where Oak Forest Academy is located because I know John knows where it's at. I do, but if you're not from Tangipahoa Parish, you might not know where it's at if you're listening to this from Shreveport or Lake Charles or Monroe or Houma. John, thanks for joining us today.
Glad to be here, Lee.
John, many years ago, I met you when you were at Riverside Academy. You were at Riverside in Reserve, Louisiana. You were coaching there with Coach Mickey Roussel, and you had a lot of energy then. You got a lot of energy now, man. You were somebody that when I met you, you don't forget people, and your career has been a long time all of a sudden. I mean, you were at St. Thomas Aquinas as the head coach in Hammond. You had coached Finley for a little bit. We talked about that the other day, who's at LSU. And now you're at Oak Forest. Your son's a senior. We're going to talk about your son. You got two sons over there. Your wife ran track at Southern Miss. There's a lot to talk about today. But Coach, tell everybody your journey going from Riverside to St. Thomas to basically the where your wife's from. Your wife's from that area.
That's correct. I graduated from USM back in 1991 with little teaching experience, coaching experience. And so I leaned on Riverside Academy. Old principal Barry Helps gave me a job there. Got a chance to learn how to teach in the classroom. And of course, I worked with Mickey Roussel, who's a phenomenal coach. And he taught me everything I know, everything. And I spent 10 years there. Great experience there. Big support from the faculty, the parents, the community. We have a lot of success at Riverside. Had a lot of good football players. And then I met my wife, who is from A-Meet. And so I told Mickey, I said, I can't make this commute every day. So got a job at Laranja High School. Worked with Sammy Messina for 5 years. Learned a great deal underneath him as well. And then I had an opportunity to become the head football coach of St. Thomas Aquinas. And Jose Becerra, the principal, hired me. And I enjoyed my 11 years there. Wonderful time there. Once again, great faculty, great principal. Had some very, very good talent there. Very fortunate. And as my kids were growing up, St. Thomas is a school, only high school, 9 through 12. Right. And it was attending Oak Forest Academy, which is pre-K through 12. And when we got time in high school, I decided, it's not about me, it's about them. They love that school. Let me see if I get a job there. And that's how I ended up at Oak Forest. And let me tell you, it's a great school. Environment great, athletic great community support, an excellent principal in Jason Brabham. And I'm starting my fourth year, and I'm enjoying it a great deal.
John, tell everybody where Oak Forest is located because a lot of people don't know outside of Tangipahoa Parish. But tell everybody exactly where it's at.
It's in A-Meet. You take that A-Meet exit, you go down about 3 red lights, you hang a left, 2 stop signs, hang another left, you're in right to the school. I'm fortunate. I'm a block away. My wife's office is on the same street as the school. So it's a private school. The high school enrollment about 230. We play in the Mississippi Private School Association, the MAIS. We're in the largest division, which is called 6A. And those 6A schools are much larger than us. And most of them come out of Jackson. And it's a good private school. Like I said, a lot of community, a lot of parents attend there, send their kids there, grandparents send their grandkids there. It's just a well-liked school.
And it's been a great program. Coach Bradham, who's now the principal, but Bradham was the coach for a long time.
Yes, he started in the late 90s, and then he became principal, and he just recently stepped down and focused on principal, I think, 3 years ago.
John, tell everybody we're going to get to your sons. You got a senior son right now that's John Henry White. But before we get to your son, tell everybody, there's a lot of athletic ability in your family. Your wife ran track for Southern Miss, and she was pretty good in the day, huh?
Yes. She got recruited by a couple of schools. She chose Southern Miss as her destiny. She runs 100, 200 meters in college. She long jump as well. I think she just missed the Olympics. Just missed the NCAA with the long jump.
Wow.
In her career at Southern Miss. She went 2 years. She graduated from Southern Miss. She ran track for 2 years, and then she focused on her studies. She's a graduate of Oak Forest. Hold many of the school records in track there, along with the old Lisa League. She holds several records there as well in the long jump, and 100 and the hurdles. Very, very good athlete. Very, very competitive too.
Hey, in your prime, and could you beat her in the 40-yard dash, or she would beat you?
I'm going to beat her. It's going to be close, but I'm going to beat her.
She'll hear this.
She's fast.
She'll hear this program, John.
I know, and the argument will start up again, but I will beat her.
Coach, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. When we come back, I'm going to talk about your son, John Henry White, who's a senior, played quarterback for Oak Forest. He's a current senior, class of 221, and a very underrated football player. And we're going to talk about the program a little bit. We'll be right back. Listen, whatever you're driving right now, Tommy Harvey wants it. Bring it in to Harvey Subaru, Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City, or John Harvey Toyota. They're paying big bucks for all trades right now. They'll cut you a check right there. Tell them Lee sent you. Welcome back. You listen to the Sports Scouting Report. This is Lee Brecheen, your host. Our guest is John White. Oak Forest Academy in Amite, Louisiana. I want to talk about your son, John Henry, Coach. We talked about him this summer, me and you on the phone, and then I watched him the other day. He's a very unique talent, and I know I'm not just saying this because it's your son, but John Henry ran for 1,000 yards in 2018. Last year, he had 713 yards passing. He ran for 924 in 19. This year, you can give the stats out, but for a 3-year period, I mean, your son's had over almost 5,000 total yards of offense, over 30 touchdowns. And he's to me, Coach, I'm telling you this, I'm not just pulling your leg, but he reminds me of a Jacob Hester type. He's 210. You told me he was strong, and look, after watching film on him, I mean, he runs every bit of a 4.5 40. And in that league, even if he was playing at Evangel Christian right now, or, Ouachita Christian or Acadiana High School, I mean, your son would be a big-time football player. What do you think of your son and what he's become?
I tell you what, he's the type of kid that's when he's determined or focused on something, he just carries it out. Like you mentioned, he's been starting since his sophomore year. His sophomore year, he played quarterback, a running back, a wing back, and he did a real good job. We put him all over the field. And then his junior year, we've just put him behind center and let him run quarterback. And we're a veer midline team his junior year and did a real good job. But this year, we backed him up in a shotgun so he gets some more carries. And it was going well. And then we had a running back get hurt. So we decided, let's throw him back at running back for several games. And he really flourished there. He did a real good job at running back. But he came up after his junior season, he came to me and said, look, Dad, I'm not playing basketball anymore. I want to focus on football. And I looked at it and said, wait a minute, I don't like that word focus. It's called Oak Forest Academy. They need you to play basketball. You play basketball. I've been doing this so long, it never turns out to be a good focus. Something's going to go wrong. But he did. He put on about 20-something pounds. His lifts were already strong, and he's much stronger now because of that. You always look back at his coach and say, man, this kid would just set out this sport and just did this for 6 months, how good he could be. Well, that's what John Henry did. He said, I'm not playing basketball. And for the next 4 or 5 months, he got after it. And then when COVID came, he got an extra couple of months because he had to do track. And so he really got heavier and stronger and faster. He's always been fast.
Yeah.
That's helped him out through his sophomore and junior. But this year he became stronger, and you can see it in film.
Well, I mean, tell everybody what he lifts, Coach. He's strong in the squat and also the bench press. He's pretty strong for a kid, 210.
Right. When we maxed out in August, he did 330 bench, and he missed 315 power clean, but he did 300 twice back-to-back that day.
Man.
Back in June, he ripped out 225 20 times. And tell a little about how fast his sophomore year, he finished second 100 meters and 200 meters to Jerriot Ely, who's the starting running back to Ole Miss. And he was a 21-foot long jumper. And of course, last year COVID wiped out the track season, so we didn't see if he could improve on that. And so, I mean, he's just a competitor. Like every high school kid wants to do their best. But, he, like I said, when he puts his mind to something, he carries it out. He won't be distracted. He's not going to waver. He's going to finish through. And his goal was, I want to be big and strong as I can going into football season.
Yeah.
And it paved the way.
Well, Coach, like a lot of kids right now with COVID and all the stuff that's going on with these seniors having an extra year of college football, D1, 1AA, we talked about it, D2, D3. Kids are having to market themselves. We're marketing kids right now. We talked about it the other day, but you've got a little interest from Nichols State. I know Nichols has offered possible walk-on, and you've been talking to Millsaps. But, I think your son's legitimate 1AA at least, and maybe I think he could be at a D1 school, a certain mid-major D1 as a running back. He's very unique. I mean, at 210, and you think he could weigh about 215 when he's maxed out in weight?
Well, him and I discussed the weight problem, not weight all the time. I would say I'm glad you bulked up. I think you're better at 190, 195, so you'd be a step quicker in this and that. And so right now that's what he said. He said, Dad, I'm hitting the reset button. I'm going to get down to 190. Well, right now he's about 195. I said, I want to get back down to 190 and get more explosive as far as speed. I mean, because wherever he goes, he walks on, or wherever he goes, they might have a different position for him.
Right.
He played quarterback for us, but he's an athlete. He can play a slot back, an outside backer, a running back, wherever he's needed, But a lot of people don't understand in small single-A football, which is basically what we are, you take a kid like him and all our kids at Oak Forest, and they got to learn several positions, learn both sides of the ball within 2 hours. So you're not getting one position 2 hours a day, 5 days a week to get better at it. So once the college takes him, he's going to be in one position, and he's going to become really good at that position.
Yeah. And, Coach, tell everybody about the players that have come out of Oak Forest. I mean, they've had some good football players. Recently, the tight end at Southeastern, Bronson, is the big 6'4", 6'5" tight ends, NFL player. Last year, y'all had a big-time lineman, Jacob Junkins, that was 6'5", about 260, that can run, and he's a good football player. So, the program produces good football players under the radar. Yes,
and let me say this now. Our head football coach, Drew Masita, played at Southeastern 4 years. I think he's 8th in all-time tackling. Southeast made all conferences junior year, and now he's our head coach. He was a phenomenal college football player. He came out of the force, and we have currently got a walk-on right now at Southeastern, Thomas Lee.
Yeah.
And he's going to be a good one. Southeast is going to be very appreciative of him when they start practicing, going through it. He's a heck of a football player. And he's a kid that got kind of overlooked, but he's going to be a good football player. And the guys you mentioned, all excelled at the college level. It's a small school, but a good environment, support by the family, faculty, community. You have a lot of success.
Coach, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back one more segment with you, and we're going to talk about your guys. You got to be proud of Cameron Dantzler, who's with the Vikings that you coached at St. Thomas, played at Mississippi State, and also maybe get you update on Alexander, what he's doing, if his football career might still happen, the D tackle that played at LSU that you coached at St. Thomas Aquinas. You had some good football players over there. But we'll be right back. We got Coach John White at Oak Forest Academy. The head coach is Drew Messina, who's, like Coach mentioned, was a heck of a player at Southeastern. He's a young coach. We'll be right back. You're listening to the Sports Scouting Report. Looking for a used car? Harvey Autos has 3 dealerships, which means 3 times the used vehicles. They've got everything from fuel-efficient compacts to luxury models, even hybrids, and certified pre-owned with a warranty. Check out John Harvey Toyota, Harvey Subaru, or Lexus of Shreveport, Bossier City. Welcome back.
Hey, Lee.
Welcome back. You listen to the Sports Scouting Report. We've got Coach John White at Oak Forest Academy in Amite, Louisiana. Coach, talk about how proud you probably are of your former quarterback, and that's right, people don't remember, but former quarterback Cameron Dantzler at St. Thomas Aquinas in Hammond, who went on to Mississippi State, switched to corner, and now he's a great DB corner at for the Minnesota Vikings currently.
He's a perfect example of a high school football player. When I said, when you go to a program that just put you in one spot and get you better at that, at St. Thomas Aquinas, I said, you got to touch the ball every down on offense, so I'm going to put you at quarterback. And he said, Coach, I'm a DB wide receiver. I said, I got that, son. But for us, we need you at quarterback.
Right.
and he had a heck of a year. Oh, he's so explosive, so dynamic, and a great personality, a great young man. And then when he went to Mississippi State, they put him at DB, and of course now you see him in the NFL. A competitor, competes. He's gonna play through injuries. He's all about the team, not about himself. He nicknamed himself the Needle in high school. And I said, the Needle? Because, Coach, I'm skinny. I'm going to pop you. Every time I hit you, I just be like, I pop you. So he called himself the Needle. But, he played basketball, track. He did it all for us. He's just a great young man.
Coach, I don't know if you remember this, but the senior year, when he was a senior, y'all were playing North Lake Christian at home, but I came up and visited with you and the staff for about 5 hours. And I went to the game, and I watched him. He was, like you said, really skinny, but he was tough skinny, like you said. And you knew he was going to fill out. And then you had Alexander at D tackle who went to LSU. But is he done as a football player? I know he had a lot of injuries at LSU.
Yeah, he's pretty much done with his knee. He had hurt it his sophomore year, spring of his sophomore year. So his junior year he didn't play, but except in the playoffs. And then senior year of high school, of course, he played every game. So he had knee problems at an early age.
And St. Thomas Aquinas, you had Finley over there too. You said when he was a freshman, before Finley went to Ponchatoula to play for Hank, but you had him early on as a quarterback, the current quarterback at LSU.
Oh, and he has one of the greatest arms. He came in as a freshman. He could put the ball anywhere you want on the field. He had the touch. He had the accuracy. He had the arm strength. He was smart, extremely smart. And unfortunately for him, I guess, we ran the wing T. We didn't have those athletes to put on the outside. But with him, we was able to throw the ball plenty of times throughout the game. And he did a great job for us his freshman year.
Coach, tell everybody what you do for the team. I mean, you're D coordinator, offense coordinator. What's your current title right now?
I'm the offensive coordinator for us. It's my third year being an offensive coordinator. And, we're a wing T-based team, but we do a lot of things out of it. Like this year, like I said, we got in the shotgun and did a lot of things, but basically rule blocking is still the wing T. At a small school, you only give them so many athletes. And I think I learned this from Coach Russo. He said, This is a great offense for us with the type of kids that we have. And I fell in love with it. I love it. Now, we will do some things outside of it. Veer midline, and we will do shotgun drop back and run some concept passing. But at a small school, you only give them so much time to practice each day with that kid. Yeah. So you better work on your core stuff.
Yeah. Coach, tell everybody, if you can think of it, and I know you might have one or two, but who was, out of all the time that you were at Riverside, is there one or two players that stick out to you that were your best players that you coached at Riverside?
I'm an offensive guy, and the defense, we had some phenomenal players. But offensive guys, Casey Remedy, he sticks out big time. I never seen a kid do play polish or team run, team pass every down going full speed. Every down. Like we do play polish, we hand the ball off, he's sprinting 40 yards downfield and jog back and do another one and another one and another one. And he's a great player for us. Jimmy Dallo, who played at MC.
Yeah. He
was strong, talented. He's big, but quick and fast, smart. Very crafty, can catch, can do it all. And one last guy, Joey Poirier.
Yeah, he was good. Yeah,
he was a tremendous leader. That was his team. And with guys like that, you're going to win. Not only is he a great quarterback, but a great leader. Everybody respected him. Those guys stick out when I think about Riverside football offensively. Now, defensively, like I said, I could talk another 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be a long, long show. Coach, you have another son who's only a sophomore. He's a linebacker, plays a little fullback, Scott White, and he's already about 215 pounds, 6 foot tall. But what about his future? He's already a big guy, and your youngest son, Scott White's only a sophomore, but he might. You don't even know what he's going to grow into right now, right? I mean, he could end up being a defensive end. He might grow into a D tackle. He might end up being a big Mike linebacker, tight end. What do you think he might end up growing into when it's said and done?
That's a good question, Lee. I know he loves football. Like this morning, he got up, left the house 6 o'clock to go lift weights before school. Him and his buddies are like, they got several kids on the course are like that. He loves football. He He's a typical kid. I'm going to help the team. Where do you need me, coach? That's where I'm playing. I think he's better offensively than defensively because if you learn to play, bam, you run it. Defensively, you got to react. Mm-hmm. As a sophomore, might not have reacted as fast, but in time, he will get better at that. But he's a strong kid as well. A lot of our kids at Oak Forest are strong. And, he played tight end. He played fullback. He played inside linebacker, special team guy. The most important thing, he's loving it. He's loving football, and keep him hungry.
He's got 2 years left, and my notes, I'll share with you. I put 4.7 40, looks 4.7, and fearless. I put that on my notes watching him play. Yeah,
quick story about Scott. We go to these junior high meets, and he'll win the shot put, throw 50 feet. Now, these are 8.5-pound shots.
Wait a minute. You said 50 feet?
I'm junior high meets, 7th and 8th grade meets, so you're throwing a 4K shot. So he walks in his shot ring, throw it 50 feet, and then turn around and win 100 meters. That's Scott. That's who Scott is.
Wow.
But that's a 4K. That ain't a 12-pound. These are junior high meets when he's in 8th grade.
Heck, I wonder what he'll throw the shot put when he's done. I mean, he might go for 60, huh, when he's done.
No. No. Let's just get in the 40s. I'll be happy with the 40s.
So you still love coaching? I mean, all this time has flown by, and you still at it. And Coach, the talent level in the Tangipahoa Hope Parish area, Ponchatoula, Hammond's super talented. Hammond High has still got a lot of talent. Kentwood is still Kentwood, and there's a lot of talent at Amite High School, obviously. But what makes it so special in that area? I mean, you've been all over the place, reserve. You've played a lot of the New Orleans teams when you were at Riverside. When you were at La Ronger's very talented. But I mean, what makes it so competitive in that area? Because it just seems like there's a lot of skill talent at all the schools.
Well, I believe it's all community based. All these we have so many high schools in Tangipahoa Parish, and high school football is big in this parish. Okay, I have friends in the neighborhood, man. When I see them, they talk about Amite football. The guys that graduated Amite, same thing at Hammond, Ponchatoula, Sumner. So kids grow up watching a high school game or that team, and now they're looking forward to their chance to get there. And they're going to have the community support, good faculty, and these programs win. And when you're winning, you must have some very good players. You're not going to win with bad players.
Right.
And it's just, these kids, they grow up looking forward to that and excited about playing high school football.
And, Coach, even programs like Albany and Pine, when you get toward the Livingston Parish area, those teams are really, really salty with talent, too. People don't realize that.
Right. And the social media promotes that as well. Back in the 90s, Channel 9 or Channel 4 or 9, get a little Friday night show, that'd be about it. Now you got guys like you and other people promoting these kids, and they have Instagram, this network, that network, and they're promoting themselves, and they compete against one another that way. It's out there.
All right, out of you, your wife who ran college track at Southern Miss, your youngest son, and John Henry, who's the most talented sports person in the family?
Well, that's a good question. I would have to give it to John Henry. I enjoy sports. I enjoy competing. My wife's the same way and Scott's the same way. But John Henry's a focused person. He's determined. He's going to set goals, and that's what he's going to carry out. So I would have to give him the edge.
What position, bottom line, do you think he'll flourish at in college if he gets back stays at 195? I know he runs 4.5. He might run under that, right, when he's 195. He's running 4.5 now at 210, but what do you think? Would it be running back? Would it be strong safety? Would it be slot receiver?
I can't answer that question. I really can't. It depends what the program will want to put him at. I just know wherever they stick him at, he's going to do real well for them. Over time, it's going to be real well. These programs, especially smaller programs, we talked about this, they got to develop these kids. They got to bring them in and work with them and get them ready for their junior, senior. The big Division I is they want them ready now.
Right. Playbook. Just give them a playbook.
Right. And he's not that kid. He's not going to be playbook guy, bam. He's not that. But in time, he's going to be an exceptional player for everybody.
I can see him, Coach. I'm just telling you as a friend and knowing you for years, I think if he goes 1AA, he gets a legitimate shot to be a running back if he's 195, 200, running 4.5. And, man, he's got those tree trunk legs, and he's got a little burst to him. I mean, I think he could be a 1AA back, you know, at a Northwestern, Nichols, McNeese, Southeastern. Has Southeastern, before we go, have they shown any interest in him? You'd mentioned the other day they might have.
Not much. This COVID situation is very different this year, you know. Yeah, it's very, very different.
Any final thoughts? Give your Super Bowl winner, Coach. Who do you like to win the Super Bowl? And I know it's down to 4 teams. Who do you?
I like the Packers. I don't love the Packers. I like the Packers. Okay, I think Aaron Rodgers is the man. He's incredible. The defense is good. Now on the other side, you know, Chiefs are good, but we don't know about Mahomes. But I definitely like the Packers.
I've got to say one thing. Aaron Rodgers, people don't realize he's 37 years old already. His arm looks as strong as it did when he was 21.
Yes, he does. I agree with you 100% on that.
Final thing, the Saints, they got eliminated. Drew Brees, would you like to see him go out and retire, or would you think, or come back?
Either way, I think it's up to him. Whether he stays or goes, he had a great career. You know, we just need to know something early so the Saints can prepare for it. But, I mean, I enjoy watching him. You know, you got a chance every Sunday with him on the field.
Yeah, if he does retire, I hope they could pick up the Watson kid from the Texans, you know, the quarterback there. He wants out of Houston, and I think he would be a great quarterback. He's still only 27 years old.
Yeah, I enjoy watching those quarterbacks in the NFL who like to tuck the ball and run, too. I like that.
You like the dual threat?
I do.
You know, Fields announced he's going pro yesterday from Ohio State, and he improved so much leaving Georgia to Ohio State, but I like Justin Fields. I think he throws a good deep ball, and I think he's better than the quarterback that left ahead of him that the Washington Redskins cut, Haskins.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's a lot more athletic than Dwayne Haskins. But we'll see what hey, you know, the Saints might end up drafting a quarterback like him that's late first round if they don't get a free agent. But would you like the Saints to get a dual guy, or would you like the Saints to get a old classic drop back Tom Brady?
I like the dual guy. I like watching Lamar Jackson, players like that. I enjoy watching that. I think as a defense person, like, what are we going to do here? You know? So I like the dual threat guy. I really do.
There's a lot of talent coming up in NFL quarterbacks, a lot of young and Coach, there might be 6 quarterbacks going the first round this year. 6. That's a lot.
Yes.
College football. Coach, thanks for joining us. From Amite, Louisiana, good luck to Oak Forest. Don't hang up. I'm going to end the show, but don't hang up. I want to talk to you. But everyone go to our website, lafootballmagazine.com. We're going to be interviewing your son, Coach, for our website, too. Jace Lejeun's going to be getting in touch with him next week to do an interview with your son for our website and talk about what he can do. We mentioned it today. But everybody go to lafootballmagazine.com. We'll see you on Friday.
Thanks for listening to the Sports Scouting Report podcast with Lee Brecheen.